What if a story could reveal profound lessons about Jewish history and faith? Hi, I'm Rabbi Bentzion Kravitz, founder of Jews for Judaism, speaking from Jerusalem. During the Middle Ages, there were times when the church compelled Jewish communities to engage in public debates with Christian priests. Regardless of the arguments presented, the ruling authorities almost always sided with the Christians. To cope with the pain and injustice of these events, Jews sometimes created comical stories that highlighted the strength and truth of their beliefs. Once upon a time, a priest approached the king and said, "It's time for me to debate the Jews. Let them send a representative, and we'll take turns asking questions. The first person who can't answer will be executed, and if the Jews lose, they will be exiled from your land." The king agreed. Seeing that the odds were stacked against them, no one volunteered to represent the Jewish community, till the town Simpleton stepped forward and said, "I'll debate the priest." He figured that at the very least, he would get the chance to see the inside of the king's palace. With no other choice, the rabbi sent the Simpleton to the debate. The king looked at him and said, "Is this a joke? They sent us the town Simpleton?" The priest replied, "It doesn't matter. This is who they chose. Let's proceed." The priest went first, thinking that he would ask a question the Simpleton couldn't answer, and the debate would end with the Simpleton's death. He asked, "Everyone knows that the first words of the book of Genesis are, 'In the beginning God created.' The word for God used there is Elohim, which has the suffix im, making Elohim, God, plural. Doesn't that prove the Trinity?" The Simpleton thought for a moment and answered, "Water in Hebrew is mayim, which also is plural. Just as water can be found in the heavens and on the earth, so too is God everywhere." Hearing this, the king chuckled and said, "Not a bad answer, especially coming from a simpleton." Now it was the simpleton's turn. He asked the priest to translate the Hebrew words "Ani lo yodea," which mean "I don't know." The priest responded loudly, "I don't know." Hearing this, the king demanded that the priest translate the words again. Once more he said, "I don't know." Concluding that the priest did not know the answer to this question, the king had him executed and declared the simpleton the winner of the debate. When the simpleton returned to his village, the rabbis asked how he came up with such a brilliant question. The simpleton replied, "What are you talking about? I simply asked the priest a question my Hebrew teacher couldn't answer. When I asked my teacher what Ani lo yodea means, he said, 'I don't know.' So I figured if my Hebrew teacher didn't know what these words mean, the priest wouldn't either." Although fictitious, this story demonstrates the importance of understanding the correct translation of the Bible, its passages, and their context, starting from the